Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just gone live into Bitcoin, big up the CoinsKid crew. So this particular pattern I'm looking at right now, I've only just spotted this pattern. I could shoot myself because I think that this is the neckline that Bitcoin's looking for, to be honest with you. I think we're looking for this support, and I think it's almost guaranteed that Bitcoin's going to get here. Again, nothing's guaranteed in the space, please remember that. But this is an area of interest to me right now where I would actually be looking to put some bids in Bitcoin on this level. And I'm going to show you exactly why, okay? And this is a massive, massive breakout pattern that, if I'd have spotted this pattern back in the day, this could have just given us a technical target of the top and an area from a pattern, regardless of fibs, to take profit. So as you're fully aware, I always like to use fibs just there, So from this low to this high, let me show you from the bear market low 2018 to the high, you can clearly see that we come up and double tap the 1618 before coming in for this retracement back down to these lows, okay? So that's basically what we're doing. We've got this massive retracement that's coming down, horrible as it is, you just macro view that we're coming down, okay, and retracing to the lows from which we came. So you're retracing until you're not. Like I said to you, if you start to fall any deeper than the retracement levels to this low, that it no longer becomes retracement, which is perfectly healthy, although it doesn't feel like it at the moment. This retracement is just normal for the continuation, okay? Just like this retracement was normal to this low for the continuation. If you'd have lost this low, then this becomes an impulsive move to the downside. Do you understand? So at the minute, Bitcoin is retracing all the way back down to the March 2020 low. So it can come back as far as it likes, hold support and start to come back up, and it's still macro bullish. Do you understand? So, at the minute, I can't tell you exactly where you're going to fall back to, but you can clearly see on this retracement from this high to this low to the 1 fib, from the 0 fib to the 1 fib, you're basically retracing and you're falling through the fibs. Now immediately I can tell you, just from looking at Fibonacci, that in time, I don't know when and I don't know exactly where, but you will see Bitcoin trade on the 236 again as resistance. And the reason is because all this support here on the 236, you've not backtested as resistance. And immediately that's just a target for me in time, in the future, wherever it is. I don't know when. It could be next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. But I know that that is a massive level of resistance going forward because you've melted through it without backtesting as support. So it's on the radar, okay? Equally, when you break through resistance and you don't backtest as support, it's always on the radar as well. So this big pattern at the moment, Bitcoin is retracing regardless. So currently you're finding support in the 0.5 fib, $16,413, okay? And if you do start to break down below that, I would anticipate at least the golden ratio to come into play at $11,699 if you start to close below the 0.5 fib here at the moment, okay? So why am I looking at another leg down for Bitcoin? Well, there's a big pattern here that I'm going to show you for Bitcoin just there. Let me show you. So this is a massive, huge ascending triangle. Drop a horizontal line in just there. Straight off the bat, you've got this close, okay, and then this open, boom, you dropped into the bear, yeah? So on the way up, you ran into this here as resistance, okay? So at the minute, you can clearly see what you've got is this resistance here. You've broken out of the resistance without backtesting support. So immediately, 13925 is jumping out the page, isn't it? And the reason is because just there, if we drop a horizontal line in, a level of resistance, support, sorry, just there, we've got support, and you can see we've got a larger ascending triangle just there, which is a very bullish pattern. So on the macro time frame, we come up resistance, called up, and we've got really compressed there. Like I said to you, compression leads to expansion. We broke, okay? And when we broke, we actually met the technical target of this ascending triangle, because this is an ascending triangle pattern. Look, see this? It's an ascending triangle pattern on a macro time frame. Look at that. Once we broke out, boom, technical target met. That was your TP point, okay? So on the macro time frame, you've actually broken out of an ascending triangle. You're coming up, and right now it looks as though you're trying to come back to it for support. Do you see that? So that looks like an absolute certain target, doesn't it? Because you've broken this level of resistance just here, like that ascending triangle on a macro time frame, and all you're doing is coming back, looking for the support to continue. And like I said to you, the bearish thing would be if you start to turn it into resistance, you lost the support just there. So on the macro time frame, looking at this, in my opinion, Bitcoin looks relatively healthy to get the support to continue. So if it was to continue, you could say, okay, well, let's drop the fibs on. So let's drop the fibs from this low here, and this is all guesswork, there's no absolute zero guarantees here. Well, your next 1618 target is $186,000. So that could actually be the target for Bitcoin in the next cycle, over the next sort of 3 to 4 years here, if we follow the cycles of before, where we've got this 3 years appreciation, 1 year's depreciation, and then you look at another 3 years appreciation from 2023 to 2024 to 2025, then we could actually be looking at a $186,000 price tag for Bitcoin, you know. So from this low here, if we get lucky and get some bids in down there and it holds it as support, you could be looking at $1,000 1,246% upside for Bitcoin over the next 3 years from this point. Okay, so again, you know, down here, I remember like it was coming down here and it was really bloody and really fearful, but I dropped the fibs on at that point and I told family and friends, you know, you're looking at Bitcoin going to a minimal 62k because it was a 1618 target just there, which it double tapped twice before coming back in. So, you know, at the end of the day, until you start to fall through key levels of structural support for me, you're still in this macro sort of uptrend where you come back to support looking for the continuation, the potential target down the road of the 1618. To eliminate that particular target, what we have to do is start to turn all this previous support just there, this previous resistance that we're coming back to as potential support, if we start to turn that into resistance, then it's looking negative, isn't it? It's looking quite bearish for Bitcoin. So until then, you know, just patience is key. If we can sort of get through this cycle, you know, we've got this massive drawdown since last year. If we can just get this bottom out, start to come back up and structurally hold all this support down here and this high, then we could be in for a really, really fruitful time in the crypto markets here over the next 3 years, okay? So I wish everyone the utmost luck, you know. I will keep you updated as best as I can. I really wish I was making videos for you lot back then, okay, when I'm dropping the fibs on and looking at this target here, you know, and even family and friends are every day messaging me, when's it going to get there? And like I said, I don't know, you know, how long's a piece of string, but it did eventually get to the 1618. We never got to the other fib targets, which we usually do in bull markets, to be honest with you, just there. So, you know, you could say that the cycle's different, possibly, but to sort of say it is, we need to see 2023 to, you know, to eradicate that cycle that we're in where we start to come down. You know, we're not looking at appreciation. We need to see this just keep coming down like this, don't we? So going forward, a really concerning thing for Bitcoin for me is if you start to see it turn all this previous resistance back into resistance, okay, because this is what potential is in front of you. Do you understand? You keep coming down like that. So, you know, I wish everyone the utmost luck. We'll keep an eye on it. Stay tuned. Hopefully we can catch a bid down here on this zero fib around about 14k. Catch a bid and ride this 1618 up to the 186,000 in the next cycle, which would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? You know, but remember, there's no guarantees. Hope you enjoyed that little update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.